students, so I'm here to just talk about your geometric animal project. We will be making these with skewers. The materials that you're going to need are a piece of cardboard to work on top of, about 15 skewers or so, a pair of good quality scissors, some masking tape. You need also your glue gun. This is the one that was on the materials list, and it came with several refills, and then acrylic paint to paint it at the end. Now I'm just going to be showing you the first steps in this video. So you really want to start off by just kind of thinking about what kind of animal that you would like to make. I recommend that you look up geometric animal drawings, and you will see tons of examples online. You don't have to use those examples exactly, but you can use them for reference, meaning just look at them for ideas, and you're also more than welcome to just come up with your own drawing. So just do your own drawing that you would like. Now, for the sake of this video, I just want to show you one example that I found online, and I use this as reference. I didn't copy it exactly, but I redrew it with some straight lines onto this piece of cardboard. Don't try, it's not easy to trace. I don't know how you would do that with cardboard, but I don't recommend trying to do it exactly as you see it, only because it might be more challenging. So kind of be flexible with your drawing. You will need to use straight lines because you will be tracing with your skewers over your drawing. Okay, so I want to show you a couple things. One is how to cut these skewers, because there is a technique to cut them. So I am going to show you that. And then the way that I have this set up is I tore a bunch of pieces of tape and just stuck them on the edge of my table. And it makes it a little easier to just have it available, because you will need to tape the little skewers down. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the technique that I've been using that's working really well. I've been measuring just by holding my skewer up and just sort of measuring where that seam is, and then taking my pencil and putting a little mark. So I'm trying to fill in the lines with my skewer, but I gotta cut it the exact size it needs to be. Now for these longer pieces, it's a little easier. You have nice longer lines. I find that it's easiest not to have lots of little small areas. You are gonna have to have some small cuts, but if you can avoid, when you're drawing, having too many, I think that's easiest. Now once you have your mark on your skewer, take some nice scissors, and then what you want to do is you just want to press down and rotate it. You can't just cut it. You have to kind of leave this mark all the way around. You might even just kind of twist it a little bit. Maybe if you have some really strong scissors, you can cut it, but for me, I found this works best. Once you have a mark that goes all the way around, it snaps pretty easily. And now you have the right size. After you do that, put it where it needs to go. I take a little piece of tape. You gotta tear it and then line it up and put your tape in the middle. You don't want to tape on the seams, like on these spots, the joints rather, because that's where you're going to put the hot glue. So it does become a little challenging here. You got to make sure that you have space to put the glue. And you just, you know, will have to go and kind of trace the whole thing. You got to make sure that they're touching, because when you put the glue, if they're not touching, there's nothing for it to glue to. Now I'll show you a little spot here, so you'll see why these are a little more challenging. A joint here, something like this, I will have to have all of them touching, because glue will need to touch on all 3 spots here. So you gotta really pay attention and make sure they're nice and close together. So this is a really small one. I'm gonna kind of squeeze all the way around, and then breaks right off. Now I have to get a tiny piece of tape. This one might not be long enough. It might be easier, I'm gonna redo that. When you have really small pieces like that, it might actually be easier to put the tape on in the middle and then kind of arrange it where it needs to go. Of course, there will be some troubleshooting with this, and you will figure out what method works best, but this is how I've been doing it. You will need to do the whole thing, and then I'm gonna make another video once I'm done with mine on how to glue, and then also how to remove it from the cardboard. All right, get started.